Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton now mostly off the hook for 3 counts of felony securities fraud dating back to 2015. Under a deal finalized today at the Harris County Criminal Courthouse, Paxton and prosecutors agreed to a pretrial intervention contract. It includes 100 hours of community service, 15 hours of ethics training, and the payment of at least $271,000 in restitution. In exchange, the case against the Attorney General will eventually be dismissed and he can remain in office.
At the end of the day, it is not a plea bargain. He didn't plead. There is no admission of guilt. There will never be an admission of guilt because he's not guilty, but we're glad to have this behind us.
It is no small thing that the victims in this case are going to receive right around $300,000 in restitution from Ken Paxton. That is no small thing.
In a statement, Paxton again professed his innocence and said the past decade of stress related to these charges had taken a toll not only on him, but also his family. Lots to talk about here, so joining me now is Fox 26 legal analyst Chris Tritico. Chris, always a pleasure to have you.
You bet.
So would you consider this a win for Paxton and his camp?
Well, it's a good deal. You know, to get in almost a decade of litigation with 3 felonies hanging over your head, and at the end of the day, he can not only does his case get dismissed, 2 years after that, he can expunge this from his record, which means it just didn't happen. That's a really good day for Ken Paxton.
And if you look at the timeline of this, lots of, ongoing legal battles brought us to this point. But why do you think prosecutors will go so hard and pursue this case for so long only to take a deal, I guess, or come to some sort of an agreement at the end?
Well, I think that when you evaluate the evidence that they had against Ken Paxton and you look at all of it, the case really wasn't as strong as they thought it was in the beginning. Ken Paxton, to get where he was, he paid a $1,000 fine to the securities board when he discovered that he didn't have the proper license in Texas. That happens every day. Every day, and no one gets prosecuted when they pay that fine and they get the proper license. So Ken Paxton is the only person in the state of Texas that's been prosecuted for that. It just really didn't amount to the felony that they brought in this case. He's the only person that we can find that's ever been prosecuted for this. So to bring this felony this way and this far, I don't think they would have ended up with where they wanted to be. So why did Ken Paxton then not go to trial? In Harris County, for a high-profile Republican to go to trial in Harris County that's now voting largely Democratic, that makes it where he really ought to be looking at, how do I get out of this thing? So everything came together. It's a good deal for Ken, good deal for the state. Let's get out of this thing and be done with it.
And we're talking about restitution, $271,000. $271,000. Is that, how are we going to pay that? Is that one large lump sum? Can you break that down into installments, I guess?
Well, so I tell you what I tell all my clients is pay it as soon as you can and be done with it. And I'm sure that he's got enough funds in his coffers to pay it off. And I would pay it off immediately if I could. Be done with it. It's behind you. You don't have to mess with it. If he can do that and pay it off immediately, he doesn't have to deal with it anymore. And Ken Paxton's probably got the financial resources to do just that.
All right, really quickly here, running out of time, but do you think this will affect him in any way, shape, or form politically moving forward?
It hasn't, and I don't expect it to.
All right, Chris Tritico, always a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much.